Hi everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of News for Idiots. We're just so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are just the greatest. I just want to say thanks for coming. We're happy to have you. This show is just, really taking off with almost 4 views on our first episode. So I was just really taken aback by how needed I am. But anyways, let's get into it. Let's get into the news. A lot of big headlines happening today in your country. Oh, it looks like there's some sort of virus in your country. And it's actually in many countries. So that's a thing that's going on. So what it seems to be is there's this rumor going around YouTube that if you say the name of this sickness on YouTube 3 times in a row, Larry Page actually comes to your house and stands on your bed and looks at you while you sleep. When you wake up, his face is right there. And I was like, what? Are you serious? But people said, yeah, they're serious. But it's like an urban legend type of thing, It's kind of like that Bloody Mary thing, but with Larry Page, which might actually be more of a freaky character, to be honest with you. So we're not gonna say the name of this illness on this channel just because I don't want to wake up to Larry Page standing there. I don't know how I would be able to handle that. So we're not going to say the name of it, but you probably know because you're in the world. So that's still happening. So that's still a thing. So some of the latest updates on that, it looks like Florida's back open. Florida has decided, hey, let's go ahead and just move forward with our lives, which I don't know if they ever closed. But if they were, they're now back open. Moving on, there's something very interesting. Whoa. It's playing a noise. Okay, so fact check, I'm actually getting this information from CNN, so I hope that CNN is not the fake news because that means that I'm also the fake news because I'm just telling you what they're telling me. So, there is something going on with this supposedly having come from a laboratory in China and not from a street market, which, to be honest, already suspected that, but not because of my own suspicions. I actually had watched this weird YouTube channel called Chiron. It's apparently some sort of spiritual being that channels news updates to somebody, a channel person who says them on YouTube, and it's channeling news updates basically from another dimension to our dimension. And I was with the state of the world today and with the state of news, I was I'll humor it. That could be an accurate source. And he said that in the interview. I will link the interview into the description because it is creepy because he actually says it. He's the virus actually came from a laboratory in Wuhan, but I'm gonna let the whistleblowers let that out. I'm not gonna be the one to let that out. I'm well, you just did. But anyways, it's super creepy because he definitely says it. He talks about it and he's this weird spirit that channels news updates, and I'm that is so weird, but I'm kind of into it. I'm gonna keep watching him, especially now. I was wow, it's super impressive that he got that one right. So yeah, there's some kind of but it's not confirmed, so don't quote me on this. We don't know for sure. Let's see if there's anything else here. Basically, they don't know for sure. It's it might possibly be from a laboratory, but they don't know for sure. And I think Trump is doing something where he is putting tariffs on China and trying to get our economy to not focus on China anymore, not work with China, which is kind of frightening because I feel I buy a lot of things from China and I don't know if Americans are smart enough to make all the things that we buy from China, so it's a bit of a concern. Moving on to Business Watch 2020. So here's the deal with business. There's more earnings that are coming out today. Shake Shack finally put their earnings out today. Thank goodness. I mean, I've been waiting for Shake Shack. I watch tech companies earnings, Berkshire Hathaway earnings, finance earnings. I was can we just get to Shake Shack? Can we just get to Shake Shack? And finally we get to Shake Shack. Sadly, their Q1 earnings are down, which surprises me because I thought Shake Shack was one of those restaurants that you could like drive through or like pick up your food. So like, shouldn't they still be open? And shouldn't they still be getting business? I could see that, you know, Shake Shack probably doesn't have the best reputation as being the cleanest restaurant. So I could definitely see kind of that sort of slump happening there in terms of their earnings, and people are trying to avoid getting sick. You're probably going to avoid Shake Shack as your first avoidance. Otherwise, in terms of the stock market, really, like, it finished in the green, and I was like surprised because everybody's been saying sell in May and go away, and I was kind of like, oh dear, what is going on in May, or what is happening? But it appears that it is in the green. So yeah, it does, yeah. So the Dow is up right now. The futures are up too. S&P futures are up. NASDAQ futures are up. Everything's up. Everything's looking like really good except for airlines. Airlines are looking pretty bad. Airlines are looking bad. Warren Buffett sold all of his airlines, and you guys know that I do think Warren Buffett is the cutest CEO, and I tend to like follow the CEOs that I think are the cutest, and that would be Warren Buffett. So Warren Buffett was super cute, and sadly, he sold all of his airline stocks, which means that everybody now hates airlines because we all follow Warren Buffett because he's so cute. So that's about it for that. J. Crew closed down or filed for bankruptcy or something, which I'm trying to figure out like who was buying J. Crew clothes before. Like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I don't know who it was, but it wasn't me. Maybe it was you. It was not me. So that's kind of like your business. Check right there. Wait, hold up. Breaking news. I just realized that Shake Shack stock is actually up. So it seems like the worse that people's earnings are, like, the more their stock goes up. And I'm like, what is this? Anyways, the stock's up. So Shake Shack's doing fine, much better than we thought just a few moments ago in the show. Now on to the election watch 2020. So the election's still happening. It's an election year, in case you didn't notice by the weird calamity that is facing us. So yeah, there's two candidates. There might be more. There's really two that I know. There's Joe Biden, also known as Sleepy Joe, and there's Donald Trump, also known as Cheetos Bandit. So really, it is quite the fight. To be honest, they're basically both the same person. I know there's a lot of division in the country, which is a huge scam. I want you all to remember, united we stand, divided we fall. So like, here's the issue with the election is that you guys are divided and you're spending so much time fighting each other instead of fighting for what you want. I think that you're being distracted by how to bring down the other instead of fighting for what you want, or for even being clear on what you want. Because I mean, obviously everybody on both sides of this ticket wants the same thing. You guys all want happiness. You guys all want to have your voices heard. You want to have a life that feels good. You want to do what you want to do. You want freedom. You want abundance. Like, you all want the same thing. And so you're trying to get it from different ends. So what you guys should do is seek to understand the other and come to a meeting of minds and kind of unite with a third option, which I'm not saying unite with a third candidate in 2020. I think honestly 2020 is a wash. Like, you're either going to pick Sleepy Joe or you're going to pick Cheetos Bandit. Like, one of these guys is winning. Like, I don't really see a third candidate being successful. I do think that if you guys focus now on what you're doing, you could maybe see some movement in 2024 or maybe 2028. But I do think that you guys should really try to like kind of unite, because I think you'll have a lot more power as the people if you unite under one cause. Because I don't think it's so much like the other party that's the issue. I think it's like just the system in general. I think the system's kind of like convoluted. It's very large. It's very like red tapey. It's just red tapes everywhere. So I think if you really broke down some of that red tape, you might be able to get like more things done, and we could maybe have a better society. So that's my election watch for you 2020. Once again, totally unbiased. No, I'm just kidding. That's like my opinion, like totes my opinion. So go do your own research, but I just want to put that idea out there for you guys. That's about it. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that happened today, but not really. Looks like Carnival Cruise is gonna sail again on August 1st, so that's exciting. I mean, who doesn't love a good cruise, right? And after this, we're all gonna want to get on a Carnival cruise ship. That's the first place I'm going. All right, guys. Well, have a great day. Thank you for listening to me. Just remember to question things, question everything, do your own research. You are the real news, and you can make news updates happen.